This video contains minor spoilers for Elemental. This will be the hardest review I've ever had to make. You probably expected me to just walk in here and say that Elemental is a sin against God, it's easier to butt chug kerosene than to watch Elemental, but I can't say that. So this movie is actually good? Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. This movie did the impossible, and I'm here to tell you how. Elemental is Pixar's newest theatrical release, and after a long streak of divisive films, to put it mildly, everyone was dogging on this movie for looking super generic, and I was part of that crowd. Firetown, water, city, it's like, come on. Marco and Polo are your two water kids. Oh, how relatable is that? If you've been watching the last few videos, you know that I was not excited to see this movie at all. It looked like a Zootopia ripoff, and for good reason. I didn't know this until now, but apparently Pixar has always had bad marketing when it comes to trailers. They're just cobbled together and not very well marketed. In retrospect, yeah, I can see that. Regardless, everybody thought this movie was gonna be complete dog shit. So if it's at least okay, then maybe we can have a good time here. So let's start at the top. Elemental follows Ember, a fire girl who is soon to be taking over the family business of selling fire-related products. She meets Wade, a water guy who's struggling to find meaning and interest in his life. He's also a city inspector, something the trailers did not tell you. When Wade bursts through the shop's water pipe, his citations could lead to Ember's shop closing forever, disappointing her father. Their goal is to stop this from happening, and they also fall in love along the way. It's kind of Pixar's first rom-com, as I've heard it described. And yeah, I'd agree, that's pretty accurate. Oh, and the fire people are discriminated against. That is relevant to this story. Okay, now that you know what you're in for, let's get the elephant out of the room. This movie is fairly heavy with social commentary. If that's something that's gonna bug you, I would not watch this. I feel compelled to say this every time I review something with social commentary in it, but I'll say it again here. I think these messages are good for our kids to learn about. We need to show them that discrimination happens, it's not okay, and it's up to them to not copy our mistakes. Don't be insensitive, be inclusive. Awesome, I completely agree with that, and I love that message. But it really feels like Disney does not know the meaning of the word nuance, because there is none of that in here. You can't just have a stand-in character for a white guy say, "Your accent is so good, I'm impressed," and expect kids to know what to do with that. Do better. Now let's get on to the fun part of the review. The animation in Elemental was actually pretty great. It's no Spider-Verse, but it doesn't have to be. Not every movie has to live up to that insanely high bar they've set. The film does attempt to weave traditional and 3D animation, and sometimes it succeeds and sometimes it just doesn't. Honestly, their upcoming movie, Wish, looks like it will do a much better job. Still though, I appreciate the effort. Wade and Ember move in different ways, and it's pretty fun to watch. They're dynamic, and I like that. The story, though, is annoyingly cliche. Elemental contains one of the worst excuses for a plot I've ever seen in my entire fucking life, and it's one that's pretty high up on my most hated list in terms of filmmaking elements. This is a liar revealed story. I hate those with a passion, man. This movie has one of those, and it has a third act breakup, which is also laughably bad. The third act breakup is probably the worst thing in the movie. It is rushed through very quickly, handled in a very choppy manner, and it's not like Puss in Boots: The Last Wish, where the third act breakup and the liar revealed storyline takes a back seat to the action. This is front and center, and one of the protagonists is lying for most of the movie, and it gets very messy. The actual reason for their breakup is somebody remembered something someone said a while ago. There's no even catalyst for their breakup. That's how shallow it is. They just flip like nothing, and I hate it. Aside from that major bump in the road, their chemistry, no pun intended, is actually pretty enjoyable. Neither character is annoying enough for their relationship to not be bought into. I really thought Wade would grate on me, I really thought he'd be annoying to me, but he's not really, he's fine. That's kind of what all these Disney movies are doing. They're making the the guy like really like a bumbling idiot. And this is not a dig at any social commentary. It's like the Flanderization of these male archetypes or something. I don't know. They're so one note. I expected him to be a complete klutz, idiot, stupid, dumb, baby brain, goo goo gaga. But no, he is actually kind of a complex character, and I appreciate it. There is a slow, natural growth in their tolerance of each other, and they eventually come to have a pretty nice relationship. It's a rom-com, and it works in that department. You can begin to see why this movie is so frustrating to review. For every bad thing, there's an equally good thing, and I can't decide where this movie is gonna fall. It's not offensively bad, but it's nothing special, so then I would say, well, it's just generic. Well, no, because there is enough original world building in here to make it separate from Zootopia. It's its own distinct product, and it really does feel like a proper Pixar film too. This movie gave me Pixar vibes after I left the theater, and I did not expect that at all. This movie has a short film that plays before it, and it is one of my all-time favorites. Probably in my top 3 favorite Pixar short films. It's about Carl from Up finding a date. It's funny, it's genuine. For a brief moment, I felt true Pixar shining through. Now, on to the humor. This movie was able to squeeze in a few good jokes, one of them right at the very beginning, which actually gave me hopes for the rest of the film, but no, this movie's not very funny. Probably one of their least funny films, actually. Kinda disappointing. You know, at least if the story is bad, I can forgive it if it's hilarious. Spaceballs. Great example of a movie with a plot that's really bizarre. On purpose, sure. But it is wildly entertaining and so funny, and that's why I love it, and it's insanely rewatchable.
He's an asshole, sir.
I know that. What's his name?
That is his name, sir. Asshole. Major asshole.
And his cousin?
He's an asshole too, sir. Gun is made first class Philip Asshole.
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow?
Yo!
I knew it. I'm surrounded by assholes.
There's one joke in the movie that I did not connect to at all, and I don't know why they decided to do this. Ember kept saying flame as an exclamation, like a replacement for fuck, and that doesn't really make sense. Several times in the movie she just goes, flame, and see, it doesn't really work when I say it. So I don't know what they were going for with that. So should you see this movie, I would wait for the inevitable Disney Plus release instead. Honestly, you might not have the worst time, but look, if you're a parent trying to entertain your kids for 2 hours or so, please see Spider-Verse instead. There were a lot of kids in the theater I was in for Elemental. Had an early showing too, 10 a.m., and they were bored. They were getting up, running around, you know, it's kids being kids, but they were not entertained. And I think Spider-Verse, while it does drag in some areas, I feel like it will be a lot more entertaining than this one. The trailer for Ruby Gillman actually played before this movie, and the second it was over, one of the kids in my theater just said, okay. Exactly like that. And me too, kid. Me too. Anyway, guys, that's all for this review. If you liked this kind of video, 5 to 10 minute review, subscribe for more of them. They come out every few days, maybe a few a week. Starting to get into the rhythm of making more and more of these things. My avatar's name is Candles, she changes outfits every video, and we just started a summer collection for these outfits. This is the first collection that I'm doing. Every outfit will have a full body drawing that goes up on my Discord, which you can also join to share your art, get some feedback, talk about movie reviews. We do a lot of fun stuff over there. So anyway, thanks for watching, thanks for liking, subscribing, and I'll see ya later.